This is what's going on in our money world. The people who once made money can sense that the populace is slowly turning away from the endless consumerism because they're starting to realize these products, they don't really work. I don't really feel any better. Okay, because there's more access now to other information besides the mass media information. And people are starting to realize, wait a minute, there is something else I want to try than just the mass media kind of product and consumerism. So these people want to make money, make money, make money, and it's been going on since the Amun priesthood, way back in the Egyptian times, when they basically, the weighing of your heart determined if you would ascend into a higher dimension or if you would cycle back to incarnation again, is determined by the weighing of the scale. After you die, they weigh your heart. So the Amun priesthood basically came up with this idea that, hey, we can charge people for the lightness of heart. So basically, you would kind of go to the Amun priesthood and they would take a look at you and basically you would give them money and they would say, oh yeah, you have lightness of heart, even if that was not true. And that's been going on for thousands of years. This kind of random lack of integrity, lack of dignity product. And these people, they want to continue because this money creates a sense of domination. And we've gotten into this idea that powerful person is one who dominates the currency. So we have a lot of successful individuals that you look at them and they're just putting out random miscellaneous just product and stuff. You go on commercials, it's just product, it's all flashy, buy. And I mean, this is just kind of what happens when we are kind of transitioning. We're going to experience people who don't want to let go of what was, and they don't want people to recognize that the power is actually internal, because the power has been external for so long. Those people have no idea how to feel the power inside because they put so much power on their external. Now all of a sudden the game is changing and they're like, I don't like that because I don't have any kind of sense of who I am internal. So if you ask me to create something that's based on my internal wisdom, I have no clue. And that's what's changing. The game is changing. So those individuals who have wisdom within are going to be the wealthy ones, you could say, and those who are just kind of this external, random, miscellaneous kind of Amun priesthood, you can buy the lightness of heart, that's no longer going to work because the populace is moving in a direction of self-discovery. People want more meaning in their life, so this whole randomness of everything just unresolved and just living in that. People don't want to live in the swamps of their lives anymore. So with that being said, the whole money world is experiencing kind of a weird place. It's in a weird place right now, because we have the new energy cultivating slowly and gradually, such as the internal wisdom prosperity, while this external lack of integrity prosperity is trying to kind of, trying to be big and get the attention and be, the main source of people's interests. But as we can see, the whole system itself is transforming into community prosperity, which has to do with internal support, internal wisdom, guidance, helping people to be healthy, health that is integrity and dignity, health that is independence, not codependence. So a lot of the world's kind of money system has to do with codependency, meaning you most likely you're going to need this product again. So if you buy it, you're going to need it again, and then you're going to have to need it again after that. It's a continuous thing. While with the wisdom, it's more so of a independence. Here is a tool you use for your own kind of self-mastery. So we're getting into an age of self-mastery, and that's what the Aquarian is about. So this mass media kind of junk products, billboards, buy a beer, buy this kind of thing that's all over the world. Well, the internet and this community, this interaction on an international scale we've got going on is showing people a different side to life. And people are going to be drawn more so into that side of life, which is that internal side of life, because they are beginning to recognize that their success, their honest success, their meaningful success is coming from a place that is deep. That's what it is. The deep, not the shallow, superficial, because people are realizing that goes nowhere. So they're wanting that deep kind of fulfillment, which is on like a soul level, because this is the soul, this soul authenticity, originality, and those who are just so far away from that are going to have to basically force themselves to stay alive. But even then, it's not going to work, because the game is changing and the leaders of that game are changing too. So that's a little message on the money world, because I felt guided to talk about this, because we're all kind of like, what's going on? Why is this all this random junk everywhere that's filling our airwaves and filling our TV boxes and our billboards and our minds with stuff? It's just simply people just want to keep going and going and going, as the immune priesthood had been going for thousands of years. But gradually, slowly, you will see a rise. Flowers do rise. New birth always rises, as we see spring always comes. And this spring, which is the Aquarian age, is internal wisdom. And once people really start to get a feel for it, meaning you see really strong men and women, particularly women with good integrity and dignity in leadership positions. And I'm not talking about Hillary Clinton. I'm talking about real solid Aquarian women. So expansive, kind of fearless, innovative, forward thinker, mover and shaker. When you start to see that more so in the mainstream leadership positions, you're going to see a really massive shift in people's ideas about life and their intentions for themselves and for their life. It's going to change slowly, gradually, and then it's going to be quite all at once. So that's kind of a prediction for us. But again, there's adversity, because this is a game. It's a game of chess. So the leaders are not going to be these, little, indigo children, all sensitive. I'm an empath. I can't be around anybody. That's not what we need. Okay, the leaders are going to be individuals who understand the game that is life, the adversity, the polarity, and has the strength to be able to hold integrity and dignity in a room of, let's say, everybody is just gone, like just the money desperation and just doing just to do, and have no idea what they're doing and why, and if this is actually beneficial for anybody. Okay, and those are the leaders that are going to be coming up, and very, very different from like Hillary Clinton when we think of a woman leaders, because these women have vitality in their presentation, and not just their presentation, but in their overall embodiment. You can sense vitality, strength behind their words. Honest, very genuine, and very authentic, which will make them queer, peculiar, you would kind of alienish, but ultimately they have the strength to be able to hold that caliber amongst people of judgment, because that's our one thing. That's the one thing that really gets us into these miscellaneous random products is judgment. Judgment about our looks, judgment about our mind, our intellect, our body, our health, judgment about our sexuality, our spirituality. So we basically, money game has been using judgment to kind of create profit. It's a supply and demand kind of thing. Okay, and there's a lot of judgment. Okay, so the supply, we have a lot of supply of judgment going around in various areas of our life, and the demand is providing a something that gives a person a sense of freedom, even if it's false. Such as cosmetics gives a woman freedom who has a judgment of their body, give people meds because they feel insane, because they're going through a spiritual awakening and they don't like themselves, they want to be numb, alcohol, all of that stuff. But the judgment is going to transform as these prosperity that is within begins to showcase a different perspective that is a communion of compassion. Communion, which is this understanding that we are here to support each other. That's the only way that we can evolve, really, ultimately. Together is how we evolve. As a planet, the vibration of the planet. Because the vibration of the planet has very much been kind of this way for thousands of years. And the dimension of the planet can only ascend when we together support each other. And there are going to be many people who need to remain in this more like two-dimensional plane. And that's perfectly fine, because everybody has their own kind of process of evolving. And a lot of people need more incarnations in the third dimension to really master it. But majority of the planet are going to be ascending into a higher dimension, which is like the fourth and fifth dimension, as you guys know. And because they have mastered this material realm of courage and, lack of integrity, the lower energies, how to master it, the fear state, the reptilian part of the brain, all of that. Those who have mastered basically the lower self are going to rise into a higher self perception of life. And that is the fourth and the fifth dimension. So I'm seeing if there's anything else I would like to bring up in this video that can help you guys on your journey through this wonderful kind of period in time. So really, it is about us really holding that space. Okay, we talk about space holders where you amplify the light within you and you hold that light. For example, through meditation and yoga, you're able to sustain that light. So your whole space becomes this sun. And basically holding that space, you're not just holding it for yourself, you're holding it for your environment, your geographic region, the person you are interacting with. Because that vibration it interacts with the vibrations all around. Just like when you go into a Buddhist temple and you feel like automatically just elevated, is because you've entered a vortex. And the persons in that vortex have created such a powerful, sustainable vibration. And when you enter into it, you're entering into that vibration. So be that for yourself, for your friends, your parents, for your work, your coworkers, your home, your geographic region, because you may not be able to see it, as you can sort of notice the change in people, but ultimately that vibration will stimulate the vibrations in other people in the environment, kind of shake it into a higher vibration. And that's ultimately how we energetically uplift our environment, in an upliftment that is sustained. Because we have a lot of dropping and rising and dropping. We need sustained kind of space of higher vibration. So it's just like a Buddhist temple, because they sing in that temple every day. They meditate in that temple every day. And that creates a sustainable kind of frequency. And if we sing to the world, sing to ourselves, sing to each other every day, basically what we're going to do is change the overall frequency of the planet, because it's kind of like a stretch. If you just stretch once a year, you're not going to see an effect. If you want to be flexible, you have to do it consistently. That's the only way to experience the shift in your body and mind, is a consistency. That's the same thing with vibration and raising the vibration of the planet particularly, it's a consistency. It's a daily kind of, talk about devotion and practice of mantras, of yoga, meditation. So that will help us to rise up and sustain it. So we're not trying to rise up into some up in the higher chakras where we're so ungrounded, we feel there's adversity and we run scared, because we're so in our higher chakras, we don't know how to handle the lower energies. No, there's a lot of empaths that are so much in the higher chakras, they listen to music or watch TV, or faced with any sort of challenge that is the game of life, the chess, they're like running for the hills, or going to Sedona and just living there, kind of disconnected from the world. But the truth is, how we move and support each other, move each other into these rhythmic vibrations of balance, of self-discovery, self-mastery, resolution, and peace, is we must hold this high vibration while we are grounded. That's the thing. Okay, hold this vibration and we're in a cave in the Himalayas. I mean, that's lovely. Do that. Experience that profound revelation, but bring that to the grounded place, the common people. Bring that to the grounded. So anything that you receive in your body, like profound light, profound energy, vitality, ground that. Ground that in your center, which is your heart chakra, so that you can give this, meaning it has to be relatable, okay, to, let's say, the common person, or someone who is in the 2 dimension, and let's say you have an intelligence of the 7th dimension. Ground that, because that is the light that will affect people more so than this empath, living isolated kind of thing. It just shows that we're not strong enough in our space, holding our light space, to be able to have it strong no matter what kind of energy, place, environment we're in. Okay. So that is very much the message. It's quite interesting because I'm looking at my stove and it says 11:11, so that's a wonderful time to end this video. 11:11, and I hope that all of your kind of paths become clear and you learn how to balance your mind, body, get a daily practice, and can learn how to sustain the love vibration.